Hello, good evening, everyone. Now, uh, one of the pioneer of modern science in India will talk about Jagadish Chandra Bose. So, Jagadish Chandra Bose was one of the great scientists of his time who works in the field of physics, biology, plant physiology, and his contributions was mainly in the field of plant physiology. So, we will look into his life and his contributions in the field of science and technology. So, Jagdish Chandra Bose was born on November 30, 1858 in Mymensingh, Bengal Presidency at that time. Now it is in Bangladesh. He was the son of Bhagwan Chandra Bose, who was a civil servant. If you talk about his education was completed from St. Xavier's College, Calcutta. After that, he joined University of Cambridge for for studying natural sciences. He also attended the University of London to study medicines, but due to some health issues, which is uh, it is said that due to some chemical exposures in the laboratory, he got some infections, and due to that issue, he left the University of London. Then he returned to India and joined Presidency College, Calcutta as a physics professor. But there he faced racial discrimination. But in spite of it, he worked and preserved with groundbreaking research in science, in natural science. He always advocated for interdisciplinary approaches to science. He was encouraged by his father to value Indian traditions and Western education, both. Actually, it was his father who asked him to go and study science and technology. Earlier, it was his choice to be a civil servant just like his father, but his father asked him to study science and make career in natural science. Now I will talk about his contributions to physics. His main contributions was in microwaves research. He developed many instruments to generate and detect electromagnetic waves. He demonstrated wireless communication over significant distances. So at that time, right now, in today's era, we are working with Wi-Fi, the wireless communications, and in today's world, uh, wireless communication is playing an important role in our day-to-day life. But at that time, it was him who demonstrated this technology. He was he is known as the pioneer that laid the foundation for modern wireless communication. He also worked for the plant physiology. He demonstrated that plants have a nervous system similar to animals. So he showed that the mechanism of plant tissue and animal tissue is similar. He invented the craskograph to measure plant growth. He proved that plants respond to stimuli, which was a revolutionary concept that time. It means whenever uh, we uh, cut the plants, whenever uh, all the plant got exposure to the sunlight or the heat or the cold, they got that stimuli and respond against that stimulus. So it was his contribution with his crescograph. He showed that plants respond to all these environment. He published several papers and books on plant responses and their implications. He developed many highly sensitive instruments for detecting minute to minute responses in living and non-living systems. His main inventions were crescograph and coherer. Crescograph is the instrument which is used uh, to check and also measure the response of plants against the environmental factors, and coherer, which is generally used in wireless telegraphy. Instruments, he also invented instruments which explored the relationship between environment and organisms. Later, he established Bose Institute, which was founded in 1917 in Kolkata. Since he always emphasized on multidisciplinary approach of the science, he it was the main purpose of Bose Institute to develop or to develop multidisciplinary research in sciences. Now, this institute, Bose Institute, is one of the oldest and leading research institutes in India in the field of natural sciences. He focused on advancing both theoretical as well as applied sciences. For his contribution in science, in botany, and in physics, he is rewarded as with several honors and recognition. Fewer, he was elected Fellow of the Royal Society (FRS) in 1920. He was honored globally for pioneering research in both physics and biology. He is also regarded as one of the first Indian scientists to gain international acclaim. He was invited to deliver lectures at prestigious institutions worldwide. He always advocated for the unity of life and the interconnectedness of science and spirituality. He always emphasized the importance of indigenous scientific development. Now, let's see his legacy. So, whatever he did in his lifetime in the field of science and technology, it inspired generations of Indian scientists today also, and He would be a torchbearer in the future also, the future generations of Indian scientists also. Numerous institutions, awards, and stamps were launched in his honor. He also authored books and essays combining science and philosophy. With this, he was also the first science fictional author. He has written that book, which was the first science fictional book of his time. So we can say that J.C. Bose interdisciplinary research and his innovations in the fields of instrumentations approaches revolutionized science for the future. His legacy endures in the realms of wireless communication and uh, plant physiology. So it was his famous quote that the true laboratory is the mind where behind illusions we uncover the laws of truth. Thank you.